welcome to the broadcast with Amanda, Shandy, and Colleen. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is season 7, episode 4, episode number 364. How's it going?
Pretty good.
It's going.
All right.
It was supposed to thunder here, and I was like gearing up for like a big thunderstorm, and it never came. Like my knee hurt and everything. Like I was like, why? Like, why does my knee hurt? And I'm like, let me just check the weather. And they're like, it was like all the way, it's like, moderate, light, heavy. It was like heavy. I was like, oh, that's it. And then it just did. Poof.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Poof.
Maybe the rain like slightly deviated a different way.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? But I'm sorry. So I owe everybody an apology. We were supposed to post the show. I was supposed to post it on July 19th. I posted it today, the 31st, and that was on me because I was away for 2 weeks.
Away. You were on vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was
out of office was up.
Well, no. Okay, so here's what happened. I completely ran out of time on that Thursday because I was leaving the next morning. Or I'm sorry, on the Wednesday because we left on Thursday. I was going to do it on Thursday, and then I ended up working from the plane. So I was like, whatever. We're going to hang out by the pool all day on Friday and, not doing anything at all until Sunday. I'll get it done. And then I didn't because I was hanging out at the pool. And then I was like, I'm going to do this Sunday. No, then I was like, I'm going to do this Monday. My whole family is going to Disney except for me. I was by myself in the hotel room. I was like, I'm going to do this on Monday. Easy peasy. And then on Sunday, Joe Biden dropped out of the race. It all went to shit. My complete attention span went everywhere else.
That'll do it.
Focus just wasn't there.
I was in Wilmington, Delaware when it happened.
Oh my goodness.
As was he. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh. Yeah, I know.
Were you the person that finally convinced him? Was it you?
I mean, like, I definitely, when I saw Colleen's text, it's not that I was like joyful that it's like
I was
mixed
panicking.
Feelings.
Yeah,
I wasn't panicking, but I was like, holy shit. And I kind of thought it was gonna come, but it's like one of those things where it was like you had a feeling that might happen, but then it was like, but would it? But then
it was a Sunday and you're doing other things, you kind of forget about it, and then it came out of nowhere. But like there was that rumor that went around that it was gonna happen on Sunday, but like the rumor was started by a dude that works for Newsmax. So, and as soon as I realized that, I was like, oh, these fuckers are just trying to mess with us. Like, of course, like, they're just throwing shit at the wall. Like, Newsmax, nothing they say is right. And other than the fact that he was going to drop out on Sunday, literally nothing else in that was right.
Well, I mean, that could be a whole separate thing. I think, major news outlets, like, had a sense something was coming. So, like, whether or not they were correct or not.
It was wild. So I was at my brother's house and like I saw your text. We were like kind of getting ready to like go to like come back. And I saw your text and I had this moment. I think all the adults had like gone to their separate rooms to like change or something. And I had this moment of like kind of like running around like the house, like, where's somebody I can, oh my God.
It was so shocking that my mom texted me. She's like, Biden dropped out. And I was like, never a dull moment.
Yeah, it was a jaw dropper. Even if we kind of like had a sense it was coming, definitely a jaw dropper.
But there was so much chaos, and there was so like it was so nasty the way that it like they pushed him towards it. But then I love that he like one-upped everybody by putting it out on Twitter, only telling the people that needed to know like an hour before, and then and there was only like 3 or 4 people, and then everybody else in his campaign found out at 1:45 Eastern, and he tweeted it at 1:46
master
Eastern.
Class on how to ensure
and then
a master class on how to control the narrative.
Yes, it was perfect, and
so much respect.
All the big Democrats, like even like Obama, Pelosi, the donors, Pod Save America, like everybody wanted like this big like showdown at the convention, and he just was like, no, like fuck you guys. we're doing it my way. And if it's not going to be me, it's going to be my vice president. And I read the piece that came out like after like describing it all. She made like 200 phone calls in like 6 hours or something insane. Like she had
so impressive.
Like And my favorite part about that,
they know what they're doing. Smart
they knew
people.
what they were doing. They one-upped everybody else. And I love that there were so many people that were like, he needs to drop out right as Trump's speech is starting at the RNC. No, he waited until everything was locked in and then completely stole the spotlight.
He waited until JD Vance was the vice president.
Yeah. I mean, all of it. It was just like it was just a master class on how to do it. Like stole the whole news cycle, and then it was like. Then everybody else fell into place. It's like everybody knew the assignment, and like it was like, okay, this is what we're doing, and like everything. It just
but he forced the hands of the people that didn't want Kamala, and the way that he did it, and the way that normal Democrats came together, because Obama took almost a week to endorse. Pelosi didn't endorse until that like Monday or Tuesday. Like all the bigwigs, a lot of the bigwigs didn't endorse right away. Like,
yeah, but like I kind of take the Pod Save America's viewpoint on that is that they didn't want to put their thumbs on the scale, and they were like letting the process. They were letting the process go out, and they weren't like putting their thumbs on the scale, which like.
And then we were like, we don't want to process Kamala.
Right. Like, they wanted it like I feel like everybody was united in the fact that they wanted this to like be like an organic like upswell, and that like everybody's on board and not like that this was forced down everybody's throat.
Maybe, but I still kind of side eye some of those people that were pushing for it. Like, I don't know. I feel like there were a lot of people that were hoping for more excitement, but this is equally as exciting.
This is a million
75 times more cool.
This is saving democracy in real time.
This has been impressive. It's been like invigorating. It's been like so exciting.
I was in a panic because I was doing the Unamazing Race with Jay's family. I was the first one to see the notification, like on my phone. I like showed it to Jay because I was like, do we make a big deal? Do we not make a big deal? And he's like, oh, because I was just like, like it was 10:46 in the morning. We had a whole lot of day left, but like I was
California time. Yeah,
that was just because then like the first thing Jack says is, "Oh, she's not electable." Jay's cousin-in-law was just like, "Oh, great! So now who are we gonna get? Like Kamala Harris?" And like it was just so like the initial Aunt Tammy was like, "Thank you, Biden. Let's do this thing." But like the initial, but I didn't hear from her until like 15 minutes later. So like. The initial reaction was like negative. So like I just went to freak out mode. I was like, oh my God, like the people that we need are around me. And they're like negative about this. Like, oh my God, like this is it. It's over. But then like I was proven wrong.
Right. How do those people feel now? I feel like when people are scared, their immediate response is to like recoil a lot of times. Like people kind of like hedgehog, you know,
I have no
I'm scared.
idea.
And we turn into a ball. Until someone like coaxes that speck out. Like, it's going to be okay.
No, I just turned like silent. I was like, don't say anything. Don't cry. Because I was just like, oh my God, like what is going to happen next? And I was so happy by that night to be proven so wrong. I felt so much better by the time I woke up the next morning. I was like, hey, it's not going to be ultimate chaos, like clusterfuck, shit show. Like we are here. We've zippered up the zipper. We've come together.
I mean, quite the opposite. Like truly, like everyone has fallen in line. Impressive. They have like picked up the baton, you know, all of the metaphors, like everybody is like firing on all cylinders and like doing the job. And like, it is really
and the calls
so great to watch.
So great. Like it's been so nice. The energy is like kind of like Obama level energy. And
everyone's comparing it to that.
Mm-hmm.
But can you feel like just the atmosphere feels different? Like
oh my God, so different.
Yeah,
so
like
different.
Like buzzing of like from 2008.
Yeah,
which also
like,
and No.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I mean, this is like not a unique thought, but like I also like my reaction like in the day or two afterwards was just like sort of like in awe of President Biden. And obviously his record is not perfect and there's like a notable, you know, stain that we've talked about before. But like to do this, like I'm just like, wow, that's
I feel like that was his last like, you know what, you guys don't want me anymore, my party's trying to force me out, fine, but I'm gonna dictate what comes next, and I'm not gonna let this fall into disarray. And I like that because he didn't have to endorse her, he didn't have to say anything,
but he did, and he did quick.
Yeah, but I think that's also just like who he is. Like you don't commit like 90% of your life to public service to like have your legacy go down in flames because of your own like hubris.
Right.
You know,
think of how many people have though.
Yes. But I think, you know, for someone who is always such a big deal is made about like their empathy
and integrity in general.
Integrity like, that I think, you know, I think some of it was like truly facing the hard truth of like, the party was not going to win. He wasn't going to be able to win it. And like, I think...
Yeah, actually literally putting country over ego, which like for me, that was just like, damn, that is a lesson. And it's so interesting because that interview today that Trump did at the
NCAJ, is it NABJ, National Association of Black Journalists.
Okay.
Acronyms are hard.
One of the questions was about how old he'll be if he's reelected, how old he would be towards the end of his presidency, and would he step down if he had to. And I was so surprised at his answer because he actually said yes, like, and you know he's lying, but he actually said like, oh, you know, if there was an issue or blah, 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 like, yes, I would step down. Yeah. And it's like, oh man, it's because Biden just stepped down and he saw the adoration and admiration that Biden got for that. Like that is, you know, that's the only reason that he said yes in that moment. Because his instinct is always to be like, I'm the greatest thing in the world.
And don't forget, like, you know, he tried to let a crowd hang his last vice president, and he's already during that same thing he refused to answer the question like, do you think JD Vance will be ready to be president? And he was just like, vice presidents don't count.
People vote for their president, not the vice president.
Not when the candidate's 80 years old, you dumbass. The amount of people too that weren't like, you took my vote away by whatever, like none of that came to fruition. Like,
well, because not for nothing, she was on the ticket. They did vote for her. She was on the ticket.
Exactly. People do vote for vice presidents. God damn it.
It is okay. Should we talk about JD Vance first, or should we talk about the Veep stakes first? Because both are equally fun topics.
I don't know. I'm sitting on a chair, not a couch.
Okay, JD Vance.
Sorry, that was slow. Although I will say before we move on,
we're not moving on. Don't worry, we're coming back to.
We are. We're moving a little. I will say how just like cool it is to watch Kamala like reintroduce herself.
Yes.
Like, I'm sort of so sort of two separate thoughts live in my head at the same time. One, like when she was running for president in 2020, I was like, I don't know. She's like not my top pick. Like, not super fan.
Respect the lady, but yeah.
Right. Like obviously she's, you know, very, but like she's clearly like done her homework and like what she has learned being vice president, and like the fact that like she has just channeled all of that. And it just feels very much, you know, to go back to what we were saying about like how it sort of feels like Obama. I think this is sort of part of it. It's like the right candidate at the right moment. And like she has stepped into the moment, like fully prepared. And that is something we have not seen in a very long time. And just that is really cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I think Biden met the moment because people needed the stability that he brought and the voters that he brought with him. But
it
now
wasn't like an excitement factor. Like, you're right.
There's a lot of people that came together because it was, and then after that Super Tuesday, it was like, okay, like clearly a majority of people here that go to the polls, that vote, want Biden. I cried through an entire episode because I wanted Liz Warren, but like,
it felt more like an inevitability than like something
right. And that was
get behind and be excited about.
And he's done a great job. Like, clearly
exceeded expectations.
Right. Like there's been a lot of progressive things that have happened, and he's had like very competent people in charge, like Mayor Pete, for example. Like the fact that the airlines and like infrastructure week happened and the airlines are actually being like, he was out there during that meltdown and he was just like, you're entitled to your money back. If you don't take a makeup flight, you get your money back. Don't let them just give you a voucher. They're cheating you out of your money. Get your, like, the fact that he was out there, like, actually telling the little people, like, what to do. And like, they are investigating Delta for how bad, like, their response was. So like the fact that this is all happening is a, because Biden put people into office that like actually are like, let's make government work for all of us.
Yes.
But like,
you are in public service for 50 years and not know some people.
Yes.
Right. Like, and he could have been an old fart that was just like, no, we're doing things my way. But like, he was like, okay, young people, you guys are more on the pulse, What is this, Dark Brandon? Sure, I'll film some videos for it. But like, like it was okay, cool. But like, you're right. Like just passing it off to the younger generation, the way that it happened just in general has just been very exciting. And yeah, it's nice because she's a totally different Kamala than what we saw in 2020. And like, she's got the energy. She's got this joy around her. Which
she's
is
more
really cool.
Authentic now. I think she was like trying to play the part of a president, and I feel like now she's like stepping into her power. Like she's sort of like, well, this is who I am, and like I know I can do the job and be myself at the same time. So deal with this. And like that is also really refreshing.
And we're here for it.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of times in politics, it's just like everything feels so fake and so manufactured for, the media or for whatever.
Yeah.
That it is nice when something feels genuinely authentic and real, particularly for a woman.
Yes.
Right.
Particularly for women in politics.
I think that's also why people had a fondness for Biden in general, is like the gaps that were so unapologetic and like,
Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe.
But yeah, no, you're right. It's been what a difference a week. And what has it been? Oh, so that was the 21st, which was the day that Barbie came out, and Barbie had a black president. So I'm just saying, fulfill the prophecy. So what? It's been 10 days, and holy shit, 10 days, like $300 million later, or whatever it is.
Yeah. Did you guys see the dude on the white dude's call?
Yes. Did you see? No. Oh, do you guys want okay. The call.
Yeah, we can move into the next thing now. Yeah.
Obviously,
we can talk about the calls because that kind of so we had it started with the black women.
It started with the black women. Obviously, props to the black women for starting this off.
Yes,
as they so often do.
You need to lead with the white dudes, but I just thought it was pretty funny.
No. I wasn't implying whatever. Like then it was the black men. Then it was white ladies. The white women broke. Yes. They broke Zoom.
Yes.
And they raised $1.2 million in like 10 minutes or something crazy like that. Not really, but like a half an hour, something insane.
And then the dude abided. And I loved it because it's like, there's like this like unease of like, white people. It reminds me of Cook Islands, actually. Survivor Cook Islands, when they...
Survivor Cook Islands was broken up into,
They divided the tribe. There were 4 tribes divided by race.
Which
I'm just
like, how did... And they said race?
I can't remember what they said, but...
Demographic?
No, they did not say demographic. Definitely not. And I don't know how that one ever got past, like, the idea phase, but like is the first season that I ever watched, so it's like really in my mind.
I remember this being like,
that's a
terrible idea.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So you have like the black tribe, and you have the Latino tribe or Latinx tribe, and you have
It was not Latinx back then.
No, it was probably the Hispanic.
It was probably the Hispanic tribe, yeah.
The Latinos.
And then you have the Asian tribe, and then you have the white tribe. And there's this scene in like, it must be the first episode where, you know, they're all paddling their boats out to the shore, and the white tribe is, you know, everyone's like, oh, you know, like black tribe or whatever. And then the white tribe's like, white tribe? Like, it feels really weird to like say that, you know, like
also tribe, yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that are problematic with Survivor, but anyway, that sort of reminded me of that, where some of the dudes on the white dudes call, or like, you know, historically when white dudes get together, it's like for really bad reasons.
Usually not the best. Someone is probably being excluded,
right? Usually involving hoods. I think that's what was said. But they
raised $4 million.
Yeah.
Which it
well,
was
given
funny
that they
I think,
on the dollar make more than anybody else.
I know.
As you should, guys. As you should. Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party, pal. They had 190,000 people on the call. I know that the people other than the dude, we had
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I know, who is just amazing.
Yeah.
Was Mayor Pete on that one too? I know he was on the.
So
There was a queer black men call too.
Oh,
like
nice.
there's been a lot of calls.
He was probably
like
not on the queer black
women,
men.
Indian men. No. Yeah. What'd you say?
I said Mayor Pete was probably not on the queer black men.
Probably not. But I think Chasten was on. I think Chasten was on one of them. Chasten and Doug. So I don't know if it's part of Veep Stakes or not, but like Chasten and Doug are doing a lot together. Like a lot of fundraising together. I know. Interesting. But anyway, there was Lance Bass was on the white dude's call. Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill was on the call. I mean, there were so many men on the call. It was and that, like, you know, it was just really cool. Like it was cool. My new VP favorite, Tim Walz, was on the call. I love that dude so fucking much. We're gonna talk about him. I might move to Minnesota just to until
the Twin Cities are great. I fully endorse.
I was there once for a wedding. It was very fucking cold.
I've never been. There, we have a middle of the country. I know that.
Yeah,
I've just never been there.
You'll get there someday. But yeah, no, like just the whole thing it's been very, very cool. Can we talk about the Veep Stakes and then let's finish with the couch fucker?
Sure.
Which, for the record, I know is not true, but who
gives a shit?
Like they spread so much misinformation.
They don't own the market on not true facts.
Yeah. It's an alternative fact, okay? Yeah, we're on Earth 616. On Earth, like 2011, he fucked the couch, okay? The multiverse is real. JD, right. Earth 2011. No, okay, so our Governor Cooper, dropped out, but I really think that's because he wants to run for Senate and because he could win, and we really need to get. That'd be great, he could win because he's awesome. Gretchen Whitmer removed herself. Who else? So basically, like, they think the candidates that are left, like in the running that we know about, it's Mark Kelly, the astronaut senator from Arizona, Andy Beshear, who came out swinging like that Monday morning. He was like there, who's the governor of Kentucky, Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, and Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota. And Mayor Pete.
And Mayor Pete is still there. I think Mayor Pete is very much in that.
I love Mayor Pete, and I know that that Mayor Pete and Kamala they have a very close, good working relationship in general, and they've been friendly for a while. And clearly their husbands get along really well. Yeah. They're going to Fire Island, Amanda.
What?
They're going to Fire Island next week to do a fundraiser together.
Well, I've never been to Fire Island. Now seems like a good time to go.
You should go.
I mixed up Fire Island. I heard Firefest, and I was like, "What in the actual
Don't go!
Oh, No. Fire Island is
Fire
like
Island.
this big gay party all summer long on Long Island.
Well, that sounds great and much better than
Yeah.
I was very confused.
It's kind of like West Hollywood, but on Long Island because it's their own little island.
Yep. Nice. There's like a ferry from the city, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And an impossibly long bridge if you wanted. Yeah. Anyway, so my top three picks would be Tim Walz, Mayor Pete, and Andy Bashir. But I think I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Okay. I'm glad that Cooper left and dropped out and didn't leave us with Mark Robinson because that dude is fucking nuts. He's our lieutenant governor, Amanda, and
isn't
he is
like
insane.
Neck and neck for the race?
No, it's not. No, Josh Stein is he's always consistently pulled ahead, but considering that it was just revealed that the daycare that Mark Robinson and his wife owned was cited for like basically like slumlord daycare conditions. I mean,
I don't know where I saw that it was neck and neck, and I was like, how is this even fucking possible?
It was probably some like Republican run ad on Facebook or something. Because it's my understanding that hold on, Josh.
Well, that's great. That's very reassuring because I was very disturbed.
Mark Robinson polls. No, I looked this up the other day. But anyway, whatever. While we're doing that,
I mean, it's hard to say.
Walz
like,
killed.
There's
he has a 3. Stein has a 3% lead based on 32 polls.
Okay.
But also, Mark Robinson did literally go out there the day that Trump was shot, like before it happened, and was like, Democrats need to be murdered. So like, that's not great. Okay. Anyway, sorry. VP picks.
Matter. What I love about this is that she has a lot of really good options.
Yes.
I love how many, like how deep the bench has, like they've all come out too. Like it's been great. Like everybody is, even if they're not picked, everyone's been made a superstar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Kelly.
I kind of like Mark Kelly. I also just really fucking like. Yeah,
he is an astronaut, but the unions didn't support him in Arizona, and that makes me worried.
Ooh.
Well, but also Josh Shapiro has,
he has the whole Gaza thing going on too.
Policies, and we've had enough of questionable Gaza policies. So nobody's perfect.
Tim Walz, baby. He's America's dad. He's so hilarious. He's the one that started the weird thing. He used to be a teacher. He was in the National Guard for
he's got like all of the chops. Yeah,
he used to take money from the NRA. He gave it all back after was it
his daughter was like, his daughter was
like, you can't take it. So they downgraded him to an F, and now he's like he can go out there and be like, look, I shoot pheasants, I whatever, but like I'm totally fine with passing a background check and doing this and that, like, responsible gun ownership. So like he can speak to them.
Which is like why Tester works in Montana.
Right. Like, so
I mean, the man like lost a finger in like machinery.
Yeah.
And
if Walz steps down, his lieutenant governor is a Native woman, and she'd be the first Native governor in America.
Oh,
well, let's do that.
Yeah, see, like I know nothing about this guy.
There.
I do love Mayor Pete.
I
wouldn't be sad about him.
I love him.
But yeah, that's why I feel like there's good options, and
and I think Pete, honestly, I know people were like, well, the gay thing works against him. I don't think people care about that. Like,
I don't think they do,
because they're used to Pete. Pete's not just coming into their world. He's been there for 5 years now. Like they know him. He's been on Fox News. He's been kicking ass on Fox News.
Yeah.
Like they
he
know
also
him.
has the military background, military service.
Yeah.
He's married, adopted 2 kids, like, or it was adopted, right? Which so it's like, okay, I guess like if you're like super homophobic, then whatever, you're probably not voting Democratic anyway. But
right.
if you can't come at him as not being a family guy,
Yeah. Also, just I feel like Mayor Pete gives like real like Sorkin West Wing vibes. Like he gives real like President Bartlett vibes, and like he will be president someday. Like he will be.
I
mark my words. Like that is in his future. Like I can see it.
Right.
I would imagine with like Kim as VP.
Can you imagine the historicity?
First Black woman, Indian American, and first gay American.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be crazy.
I mean, talk
and
about
we would get so much more chested.
Yeah. But just also, what does that say about, like, not only we were like, we're going to effing save democracy, but like, this is how we're going to do it with like a ticket that actually represents what America looks like and like the direction we should be moving towards.
Yeah.
Like, so, let's live up to our ideals for like once, or at least try.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like, there's a rumor going around that Pete would be considered for Secretary of State, which would also be an excellent position for him as well.
I would be fine with that too.
Yeah.
Can you imagine him in like the meeting with world leaders? He's so calm. He'd be like, "You fuckers, I'm on Fox News all the time. You guys are nothing."
The Fulbright scholar.
So there was also a rumor last night, I think, or maybe it was this morning at Time, man. That apparently the Harris campaign has been reaching out to donors saying that they need to donate now because there's apparently a rule against donating when there's a governor that's involved. So people are guessing it's one of the three governors are the final choices because, well, obviously a governor on the ticket rule wouldn't apply if it was Mark Kelly or Mayor Pete.
Interesting.
What is this rule? Why is it just for
I don't,
governors?
I don't remember, but there's like some campaign finance thing. I don't know if once that person joins the ticket, if they've had donations, if like that counts. I don't know exactly what it is, but that was reported by one of the outlets either last night or this morning that they've been urging people before next Tuesday, because that's when the announcement is coming. So next time we talk about this, we'll maybe know who it is. And I don't know what the campaign finance law is. I'm sure it wouldn't apply to Republicans, but like Democrats are going to apply it. Anyway, it's a fun time. All of a sudden, we were so, having edited the episode today and yesterday and today, we were so like despondent about like Trump just got shot. The debate was awful. Everybody's being so mean to Biden. Like, it's not cool. And now, like, what a difference it makes.
What difference.
Who knows what the fuck is going to happen a week from now?
But, like, I'm not filled with the, like, feelings of utter dread.
Yeah. Because it was not feeling like that was going anywhere good. And it's like I maintain that that's still, like, very unfair. Like, it doesn't make any sense that anyone would vote for Trump, let alone enough people to get him enough electoral college votes to actually win. So I will never understand that. But it was just not like there were times earlier in the campaign where I was like, it'll come around. It's crazy if it wouldn't. But yeah, definitely last time we recorded, it was like mentally preparing for a second Trump term. And now it's like, oh, maybe we have something way better.
Yeah, maybe we'll find out the winner on election night, wouldn't that?
It's true.
Oh, that was a wild experience.
Like now we're in a Disney movie, like, and not in like a post-apocalyptic.
Yes.
Remember, we all thought. I remember thinking, because we did a live Metro Buzz when Obama was elected, and John and I were prepared because the news had been reporting at the time, like it could be like a midnight 1 a.m. kind of call, like, don't worry if you have to go to bed, and they called that shit by like 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Gosh, yeah, it was fairly early.
It was so early.
Yeah.
I remember I was grading papers and I was like behind on grading papers. And so I had like sort of promised my class that I would get them back to them the next day. And I'm grading papers and then like watching on my computer at the same time, like what's going. And when it sort of became clear, I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to be here grading papers like the night that we elect our first African-American president. So I hot-tailed it downtown and joined the festivities. They got their papers back later and it was fine.
Yeah. I'm sure that by that point, everyone was like, all right, that's fine.
Yep.
Anthony Scaramucci on Twitter, I just opened it randomly,
that's a name
is saying that I know. Well, so this could pivot nicely into JD Vance. last week he tweeted, I always thought that I would hold the crown for worst Trump hire ever. I'd like to thank JD Vance for taking that.
Man, that guy is so self-aware. Like,
he's
very
so
bad
funny.
at the job, but like very funny.
Wow. Right? Like probably
singers.
as terrible. Yeah, like he's so funny.
I'm impressed.
But he's calling that Trump is going to drop out.
What?
No.
I don't know if that's true or not.
He would never.
It's his, because it's his like get out of jail free card, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's his go to jail free card.
Anyway, okay, JD Vance. So the second that guy was announced, woo! You guys want to talk about the couch thing? Do you know how the couch thing started?
No idea. I've been too busy watching the Olympics, so I've been trying to just like distance myself from it all and just like focus on like happy things like Simone Biles and Katie Ledecky, and I've just been like living in that space.
Yeah, she's a fucking beast.
I watched her win gold today. It was really pretty great. I had it on the background, and I like happened to come out from the meeting, and like I was like watching this like swimming race, and someone was like very far away from the rest of the other swimmers, and then I like sort of focused, and I was like, "Oh, it's Katie Ledecky swimming very far,
so far."
Have you? Hey, speaking of, have you guys seen that French guy?
Yeah,
he won like 2 medals today.
Was it last night? Last night?
Well, he won 2 more today, and every race it's like he's been. And Michael Phelps, I guess he uses the same trainer as Phelps.
Yes,
and Phelps has said that he's like the best, one of the best like he's ever seen, including himself.
Yeah. And he's young too, right?
He's like 22.
He's really young. He's got like at
least
a couple of Olympics in him.
Yeah. Exciting stuff.
Yeah,
I know. So the couch thing started because just somebody randomly tweeted out like, so you guys know JD Vance once fucked a couch. Like it was in his book.
But do we know who this person is who started this?
I think so.
And why they said it?
But it's
just,
in the
just to be funny, and then they went viral.
I think they were just shit posting,
and then they started like a nationwide conversation.
I think so. Okay, hold on. It's so fucking ridiculous. Okay, hold on.
Dude,
anyway,
sorry, I started like Googling the Scaramucci's tweets, and then I ended up on his Wikipedia page. I did not remember he was the White House Director of Communications for 10 fucking days. Today is the anniversary of his last day. It was July 21st to 31st.
Oh my God.
I do not remember the brevity of that. That's incredible. Anyway.
Because it just like everything was
okay.
Yeah, it was just chaos after chaos after chaos.
You just started to tune it out because it was just like too like mentally painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a really fun 10 days.
Oh my God. It was wild. It's like summer vacation. What I did on my summer vacation.
So on July 15th, Twitter user Rick Rude Scalves he tweeted, can't say for sure, but he might be the first VP pick to admit it in a New York Times bestseller to fucking an inside-out latex glove shoved between 2 couch cushions. And then
that's also very specific, Rick.
And then he cites parentheses Vance, hillbilly elegy in italics.
Oh, he cites it. That's hilarious.
PP 179 to 181.
And people are like, you gave me the actual pages.
And then,
So it's easily verifiable.
Yeah. But it looks, I mean, if you don't take the time to verify it, it looks like pretty legit. It's like, good job, man, on your references.
Well, then people ran with it. Like, was like, on pages, blah, blah, blah. He talks about fucking the inside of the thing. I'm glad he comes from family values, blah, 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 blah.
And then, this is why.
People really took it, was like, oh, well, that was edited out of a later version. Like, so then, everyone was like, okay, so did he or did he knock a couch? And then then once the headlines on the newspapers started, like, no, JD Vance did not have sex with a couch. Can you imagine, like...
That was great.
So after that went down, a few days later, somebody started the rumor that, oh, no, it wasn't. A few days later, somebody found an old tweet of his that it was it revealed that he had done search for dolphin sex, like women dolphin sex. So then, and the tweet that he had like an image of like women impregnated by dolphin or something like that. And it was like the internet was a mistake. But you know how when you search for something, and this is especially, the words that you're looking for with AI are now like bolded. So everyone was like, oh, so he was searching for dolphin fucking women porn. Like, so then that blew up. And then the best was the third headline, which didn't get as much traction, but was still hilarious, was JD Vance has a burnt monkey testicle problem.
Wait, what?
Huh?
I understand the words, but like not together.
Somebody tweeted like, I love that this guy every day is a headline that I've never seen happen before. So he invests in like some laboratory that does animal testing, like, like cruel testing.
Of course he does.
Yeah, of course.
And as a part of the laboratory, I guess they did something with monkey testicles that got burnt. So like that I mean, it's just been like one after another. His wife is Indian American who clerked for, I know we talked about this last week, but she clerked for what was it, Roberts, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, one of them.
Roberts, I think it was Roberts.
I think it was Roberts and Kavanaugh. But like they've been getting like attacks from white supremacists, and he went on TV on Saturday and said, I love Usha. Obviously, she's not a white person, but I love her. She's a really great mom. And it is so awkward. You're like, you love her in spite of the fact that she's not a white person. So anyway, he's going to be fun.
Wow.
Oh my God.
And Trump thought Tim Scott was weird.
I know. They're all fucking weird.
They're all weird. That's the thing, though.
And the thing is, as a weirdo myself, like, I am not that weird. And I love that it was so safely put by my man, Tim Waltz, who was just like, these guys are weird. Like, the things that they like, the things they focus on, the things that they want to do are fucking weird.
But not the good kind of weird, because there's definitely
in general that like there's a real claiming of the like this stuff. Like Mayor Pete has done it too on the stump of just like, this is weird. These people are weird.
Yeah, they're not serious people. They're sitting there, they're getting upset. They're just outraged for the sake of getting outraged, like with the Olympics, which was not the Last Supper.
It's literally not about you. Are you an athlete? Like,
oh God.
Are you French? Like, it's literally not about you.
Are you a Greek god?
I saw.
Somebody asked you that, you say yes.
I saw something also about like they were upset also about the Marie Antoinette stuff, which I was like, it's in the building is the conciergerie. It's like where she was, and these are like did not get the reference. No, they didn't.
No, of course they
like,
didn't.
You can clutch your pearls when like LA does something at the opening that you don't like.
Like, right? Or just don't clutch your pearls. Not everything is about you. It wasn't even a Christian mocking thing.
Also, just learn to have some fucking fun.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like, why is Christianity like in the opening ceremony of the Olympics? Anyway, like, stop and think. Just stop and think.
It's the Olympics.
Also, my thing too is like, even if it was the Last Supper, that is a painting, a rendition of a story in the Bible that has been painted. Like, there have been many different compositions of it. Like, what?
Yeah, was it painted by like a naked guy? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know if Leonardo was naked.
Hey,
but,
I mean, however one likes to do their work, if they like to do it in the nude, I mean, again,
I'm just going by the historical time period, okay? Anyway,
you want to paint naked? That's great.
But again, it's just like a compelling composition that like makes use of perspective in a new way. But what the fuck? Who cares? Yeah. It's not a picture of the actual like event.
No,
right.
It's just looking to be angry at something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're just so primed to just be mad and aggrieved by like everything that it's like you're just looking for something.
Which is an exhausting and like sad way to live.
Yeah,
I was
it's not
thinking
how I
about
choose
this
to
today.
be present in the world.
Yeah.
Like, think about 2020, like how exhausting it was to be so mad at all the stupid people that were around us. Like, I don't want to live like that. Like, right,
No.
it's so exhausting. Like, and these people just like conservatives, Republicans, just want to be mad for the sake of being mad. But they're not mad about they're mad about weird shit. Like, they're not mad that they were starving
like
kids
actually,
in school.
Right.
They're not mad that somebody who had a student loan 25 years ago has paid $215,000 back when the loan was $50,000. Like, they're not mad about shit like that. They're mad about stupid stuff. Like, how dare you give like my man Tim Walsh, who I'm going to keep coming back to. Like, oh, what a monster! Children will go to school fed. Like, come on, fucking stupid and awful.
And do better because they're fed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out it's important.
Yeah, it turns out being fed helps with thinking clearly. Maybe that's why they're all so mad. Maybe they're just not properly fed.
I mean, it's like a chain of events that has downstream effects that are positive for society. But hey, that might not be your bag.
Exactly. Oh, it's so frustrating. But yeah, here we are. Totally different America 2 weeks ago. I don't even know.
It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah. I look forward to talking about whoever the VP pick is. You got last minute predictions.
I have no idea. I mean, I think it's like one of the ones that you said at the beginning.
Make one for fun. I don't know either. I'm just gonna guess for fun.
Know. I'm swinging big. I'm going for Mayor Pete. I want to just put that out in the world. I want to manifest that.
Oh, think of how cute their kids will be at the inauguration.
That would be very cute. I feel confident that
I don't think
Harris will make a whatever choice she makes will be the right one.
Oh, you still have to pick somebody.
I don't know.
That's fine.
I'm gonna go with my man. My man Tim Walsh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assign you Josh Shapiro.
No.
Yeah, no.
She's kicking it off. She's kicking off the tour in Philadelphia, and they're coming. Whoever the VP is, they're coming to Raleigh. You want to go?
Depends what it is.
Okay. Just saying. Okay. Let's take a quick break, and then we can finish up with anything and feedback after. All right, we are back. Anything else happened this week, guys?
The Olympics. I'm just loving the Olympics. I'm like really into it this year.
Awesome. Yeah, we've been pretty into it too. We watched swimming, gymnastics. Yep. We watched that. We heard about the exciting rugby game ending, so we watched it when it re-aired.
Oh, see, I haven't seen any rugby.
Yeah,
I did see that the winners. Where's it? The winners, the New Zealand team did I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong, but a haka.
They're dance thing.
The dance, yeah.
Nice.
That was pretty cool. It was the whole team and the coaches. They all did it, and it was really pretty moving. It was cool. I saw it on social media.
Cool. That is cool. I'm trying to think the Olympics, they're neat. It's a time where everybody kind of is supposed to come together and not get pissy about little bitch things. But
human beings swam in the Seine.
Yeah.
Dove right on in and
not just the mayor.
Yeah, and swam a race.
Totally wild.
Is that the health minister did that to prove a point or something a few months ago, right?
She's the mayor of Paris.
Oh, she's the mayor. Okay. She's the one that very closely kissed. What's his face?
I don't know.
What's his face?
Was it an awkwardly close kiss or was it just French?
I think it was just French.
I feel that's a bumper sticker.
I think it was just
Did
French,
they know each other?
Yeah, it was the president. What's his face? Macron.
Oh. Well,
there was a very close.
Let me
French the president of French.
I feel this needs to be a new segment where we just ask Shandy questionable things, and she just tells us if it's awkwardly, uncomfortably close, or if it's just French.
Or awkward or French. Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah, we were watching the synchronized.
I can't find it.
I will try to find it while we're talking. We were watching the synchronized swimming before I came down to record. God, that Chinese team is so good.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to watch any primetime tonight. Oh, I'm gonna have to look that up. That sounds fun.
You'll find that they're so good. I was watching some of the others, and like they are light years ahead point wise. You can see why, because like they're literally two entities falling at the exact same time. Whereas like some of the other ones were definitely not close to being in sync.
I love synchronized anything. Synchronized diving. Like,
I mean, that's hard.
How that's even a sport. Like, that's just wild. I love it. Whose idea was that? To just like, like, first of all, just diving in general. Like, we're just gonna have this giant, like really tall platform, and like people are just gonna fling themselves off it and do cool things down to the water. And we're gonna grade them on it. But do you want to be even cooler than that if we had two people trying to do it in sync with each other?
What? That's pretty great. Frank was watching that as I came in here. He was also the other day. He was also watching fencing, which I feel like that was like I was like, yeah, you're French. Speaking of like,
there's like a pregnant woman
French
that like
things.
medaled.
She's 7 months pregnant.
Yeah.
I saw that headline. I didn't see that.
That's like when the volleyball player, the American volleyball player, said that revealed after that she was pregnant. The famous one. I'm sending you guys pictures of the kiss on text.
Yes. Okay, the picture is a bit intense. Okay, I've been doing some extra.
It's Amelie Adua. It's the sports minister. She swam the thing in the thing.
I thought it was Hidalgo who swam. Okay,
maybe it was.
No, I know that sounds like it would make more sense.
So tell us, Shandy, is this awkward or French?
The picture is intense. I feel like
right.
I still feel like I would have to see the whole thing in like moving, like in like video. But the picture is pretty fucking intense.
Right?
It's very intimate.
It is very intimate. Here's one that's a little bit zoomed out. So for more
we need to have a video.
The guy the guy standing behind, like was that a bodyguard, an under minister, whoever that is, he's just like not looking. Look at his face. It looks like a baby Joshua Jackson. Anyway, Olympics, France, yay! Here's the guys. I had my second of apparently 3 parts of my root canal today.
Oh,
yeah!
Congrats.
So I have the temporary crown on it, and then I go back in 3 weeks for the crown.
Okay.
It hurts so much more than when they drilled everything out. And at one point, I could early on, I could feel it. It was throbbing, and I was just like, I said something to her when because he was also seeing other patients in between, and I said something. So they gave me another shot of Novocaine, but they didn't do the gel that numbs it first. So it was just straight up needle, which wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah,
it wasn't
I've had
until
that
the
done
needle.
Before. It's not.
But it wasn't until the needle got down to the very end that it hurt. So going in, it wasn't that bad. But then I was so numb. It was like my eyeball. And it lasted until 1:30 in the afternoon. I was just like,
oh man, tooth stuff. I'm so sorry.
And it was only an hour. So I got home and I was like, I still have coffee left, 3/4 of a cup of coffee left from this morning. Let me heat it up and drink it. And I went to take a sip and it was just like, ouch. It fell right out the side of my mouth. I was like, whoop, whoop, whoop. So then I didn't drink anything at all until 1 o'clock when I could have more control over my mouth. I was like, oh my God, this is so ridiculous. That extender thing that they said I needed that may not be covered by insurance. dealt with insurance yesterday. They said they would cover it. And then
good.
Oh, good.
We go through 3/4 of the procedure today. And they're like, hey, guess what? You don't need it after all.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Like, well,
all right.
Could you give it to me anyway? Now that I know insurance will cover it.
Right. Well, I guess that's good.
Yeah. So there's that. It was like great. Because So the difference at the end of the day will be how much I owe in terms of because that would have put me over my maximum benefits. I think I go over anyway. So it would have been like how much more over the maximum I'll hit. So I guess that's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it hurts right now too. It's just the gums are throbbing, and they told me that it would be the gums because they put like these, I don't know, something in it. Shandy, maybe you know, they put these things in between. I don't know. Anyway, they took them out, but but yeah. So there was that. Real quick before we get the feedback, did you guys do anything fun while we weren't recording? We were in San Diego, and that was cool. 10 days. It was gorgeous, as always. Beautiful. Happy and sad to be back.
Oh. Okay, so I feel like we've covered this before, but I can't okay, so my brother's wife's brother is my brother-in-law? Once removed, I don't know.
Your brother's.
I think if you're close, if you have a relationship and just if you want to shorthand introduce him to someone, I think if you said your brother-in-law, I think that would satisfy or at least give people a general baseline of the relationship.
Right. Okay, well, he and his bride to be were having a ceremony in Wilmington, Delaware, which is why I was in Wilmington the day that Joe Biden was also in Wilmington. And he and his family are Indian, and his parents are from India. And so they were doing a haldi ceremony, which I was not familiar with before, but we were recommended to wear yellow, and it's usually a small ceremony beforehand, but they were doing kind of a bigger one because I think there were some people that weren't going to be able to make it to the wedding. And anyway, so we went to that at my brother's house, and it was funny because the day before when we were talking about it, I had this flash. I just rewatched Bridgerton season 2.
Okay.
When the Viscount marries a woman from India, and there's a scene. It is very intimate. It's just her and her sister and her mom, and they're doing. And I was like, "Holy shit, that was haldi!" And I asked my sister-in-law, and she's like, "Oh yeah, totally." So anyway, it's just a ceremony. You put yellow turmeric and stuff on the bride and groom to be, on the spouses to be, I suppose, on their face and stuff. And so they're kind of covered with yellow and just a bunch of stuff, and it's to bless them and wish them luck and things of that nature.
Fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool, and everyone was wearing different shades of yellow and just bright colors in general. And it was really fun, and it was cool, and I got to see most of my family. My little brother and sister couldn't make it, but I saw my 3 older brothers and their families were all able to come, so that was pretty cool.
Nice.
That's great.
Yeah.
I did nothing.
Hey.
Also great.
Yeah.
Nothing sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah. We didn't do. I went to the beach 2 weekends ago, but I don't know if we had recorded at that point.
I don't know. The last time we recorded was the weekend after your birthday, or after your birthday weekend, rather.
Okay. Yeah. So I went down to the Jersey Shore. A friend of mine, they bought a condo down there, so we had a girls' weekend down there, which was really, really fun. And we were hanging out at the beach in the evening, and we happened to stumble upon this lifeguard competition. It was lifeguard Olympics, where they're running down the beach, and they had to sprint down the beach, and then they it was a relay race, and then they'd have to swim out and swim back, and then the next person had to paddle out on a surfboard, and there were people rowing in a rowboat. It was like a whole thing.
Sounds like a Survivor challenge.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But, like, we didn't stay for the whole thing, but like as we were leaving, like people were like coming back to the beach, like, you know, like dressed to like sit and watch this thing. So we're like, oh, this must be going on for like some time. But it was pretty cool.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Who won?
I don't know. We didn't stay. And also, like, because we weren't there for it. We just happened to sort of be there. So we were like a little far away to like really see. But you could definitely tell there was like one team that was like really good, and there was one team that was really struggling. There's only like 5 teams. Oh. And the one that was in last was like really in last.
Oh, like, no.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Hey, but they showed up.
But they did it. Yeah. You know, they really tried. They really tried.
So they were really in last, like the U.S. Olympic team for shooting.
I have not watched the shooting, so I don't know the reference.
No, so I didn't watch it either. Essentially, you know, America, we love our guns. We finished dead last in the shooting competition at the Olympics. We were like 6th.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Man, the universe is coming out strong.
Yeah, seriously.
Anything else of note from the Jersey Shore?
No, that was it.
Nice. Oh, so at Comic-Con, okay. I picked up and I meant to bring them down. I picked up a shitload of books. Some I actually paid for this year.
Oh boy.
I was walking through the convention, and I was actually headed towards. I had got a ticket for a free giveaway book. It's like some like rom-com book or whatever. And since you know I always do thrillers, I was like, all right, you know, let me pick up, let me expand my horizon. So I'm like walking down there, and I see this. So the way like it's set up is on like sort of like the back wall on the outskirts, like in it. It's hard to describe, but like you've got different sections of what sets up, because the convention center floor is huge, and like the exhibit hall floor, sorry. Mm-hmm. And like the area that I was headed to was like, you know, the book area, but like the book area of like, you know, Penguin House and Scholastic, like more of the well-known publishers. But like as you have to walk towards there, you go through a section where it's people who are self-published, like they're there promoting their own stuff just to get recognition. Like, so it's like kind of what Comic-Con started as, right? So like people who have created their own comics, or created their own like media, or created or like written their own books. And like there's this section there, like if anybody listening out here remembers Chris White from the Official Laws podcast, he had a comic book 10 or 11 years ago, and they set up in that area like of Comic-Con. So like I'm walking by and I see this table, and they like, it was clearly a book, and like it was just like it called to me, because I was like, oh, this looks like fun, like an adventure book. And you know, I'm there and I'm like, hey, he's like, do you want to just read the back, or you want me to give you the pitch? And I was like, give me the pitch. And he was like, do you like Harry Potter or Percy Jackson? I was like, I love both those series. And he was like, well, my series is about a Black Percy Jackson. And I was like, all right, give me your pitch. Let's go. So he like sold me on it. I bought all 3 plus the novella that comes with it. Then I walked over to the Penguin Random House table and bought the mystery bag of psychological thriller books. And then I got my free book. So yeah, I was like, I got a lot of books to read, guys. That was my haul from Comic-Con. Nice. And then so that was basically it. We took a red eye back, which sort of sucked, but also was sort of okay. Like, you know what I mean? Okay. So Zachary slept the whole time.
Fine.
It was fine. Jay and I didn't really sleep.
Good for him.
But yeah, I saw Zach put the blanket over his head before takeoff, and then I didn't see him lift it until about 5 minutes before we landed, when they turned all the lights on. Alex was kind of like hit or miss. Like he was very tossy and turny. Jay was tossy and turny. I was sitting on the other aisle, so like I was sitting with strangers. I was sitting with this woman who had to have been in her 80s, and she had to keep getting up to walk around. And I didn't like. I was like, you know what? Power to you. Get up, walk around. That's fine. My only regret was I missed the drink cart. But like, Maybe then I would have fallen asleep. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes the first week of school, because we're also on day 3 of school. So anyway, that's life. It was good. We managed to land in San Diego mere hours before the computers crashed and everything went down.
Oh, right.
Oh my
that
God!
Also
Speaking
happened.
of which,
that also happened.
So lucky.
My brother, who lives in the Twin Cities, they were like only an hour late coming. So they flew over on Friday, which is
That's what she said.
So they flew on Friday morning, like
okay.
to the event, and their plane was like delayed by like an hour. And I think it was like leftovers from because it had already happened at that point.
Yeah.
But then when they tried to fly home on Sunday, like we were driving back down to Fayetteville, and like we kept getting these updates of like still at the airport. Maybe we'll have a plane soon. Oh, we have a plane, but we don't have and they ended up having to rent a car and drive back. It was like
what airline was it?
I can't remember, but it was like a 17-hour drive.
Oh my god!
Back like from Delaware to Minnesota.
Oh my Lord.
With the best governor ever, who's going to be our next vice president.
Indeed. Because they got back on Tuesday, because I think they like didn't leave that Sunday at all, and they like
oh my god
got to a hotel to like actually get like a full night's sleep, and then they drove on like Monday, Tuesday, and so got back sometime on Tuesday. But if they would like on Sunday, if they would have waited for a plane, the earliest that they could have maybe got one was Tuesday, but then like no guarantees.
That's what.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's
17-hour drive is faster than fuck.
That happened when Southwest melted down last Christmas. That Jay's dad had to drive from LA to like he's in Bellingham, Washington, which is like right by the border, and he ended up having to rent a car and drive the whole way.
That's insane.
Yeah. And then when I was at dentist today, I asked him because he had mentioned, so he had given me his phone number. I think I talked about last time to text if I had any issues. And the hygienist was like joking, like, you should text him at 2 a.m. Because, that'd be really funny. And he was like, well, I'm going to be in Las Vegas for a conference, so you can text me at 2 a.m. It's only 11:30 there. So I asked him like how it was, and he got stuck in that too. And he got stuck in Charlotte for a layover. Thankfully, like, it went down while he was in the air. So like they were able to land, but then everything was canceled. His stepson happens to live in Charlotte. So his stepson picked him up. He lives like 20 minutes away. It took him like an hour to get there because everyone was trying to get rides out. And then his wife had to pick him up the next day and drive back home. But he said that his boss's flight was later, and he had to drive from Las Vegas to Holly Springs, which is right outside of Raleigh. They had to drive the whole way.
Oh my God. I thought Delaware to Minnesota was bad. That's
I think it's kind of comparably awful.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That's wild.
Yeah. Like they were told that the next flight was going to be Tuesday, and he was just like, it's Saturday. Let's go.
Oh my God. Well, and we like originally we had thought about flying because there were like cheap flights and stuff because it was such a short weekend. Yeah. Like trip that we were going to fly, and then we just kind of like forgot to buy our tickets, and prices went up, and it comes to a point where it's like, okay,
all right, let's just drive.
Let's just drive. And honestly, by the time like you drive to the airport in Raleigh, get there early, fly, then then drive from like Philly to Delaware, it's like, okay, it's almost the same amount of time. But anyway, I was so glad that we forgot to buy our plane tickets.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah. Because then you would have ended up driving anyway, but you would have ended up renting a car. And
we would have lost, because my brother was at the airport for hours.
Yeah, and according to Mayor Pete, they have to reimburse you for hotels, for rental cars, for anything, as long as you don't accept a flight from them. Well, they have to reimburse you for a hotel anyway, but yeah. Good time.
I mean, what about like missed work?
Wild. Anyway, sorry guys. Not to get off topic here.
I mean, that feels like a lifetime ago, honestly. I forgot it even happened.
Oh, same.
Oh, this is how it started. Okay, real quick. Okay, really quick. So we had gotten to San Diego. We checked in. We were fine. We were exhausted because of the time change. We had lights off. Like we were all in bed by 9 o'clock. The next day, we were in the pool on Friday, which is why I didn't edit. And we were talking to this couple in the pool, and they were saying that they actually came from Washington. They landed at 10 o'clock. They get to the hotel, and they said it was complete pandemonium, like just an absolute clusterfuck. They couldn't check anybody in. Like this guy managed to they got a room because his company has reserved suites for them all the time. So he was able to have them just pull one. But like he said it was an absolute fucking shit show because they couldn't check anybody in.
Couldn't pull that.
Yeah, and people were just like sleeping out. So then we asked I asked somebody in the lobby, and he said that people were like sleeping there in the Hilton overnight, like in the lobby, because they couldn't check them in.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Then we slept through the whole thing. Anyway, okay, sorry. What you guys need to look forward to next week was I had pulled a couple of industry hacks people need. They're all really good. Like, here's a preview. I'm just going to summarize it because I actually did read all these before. Essentially, did you know that if you want to get in touch with an insurance company, and this resonated with me because of yesterday, you just have to say the F word a whole bunch of times, and the bot will recognize you as an angry customer, and they'll get to a representative quickly. So you don't have to scream representative anymore. You just have to scream like, fucking representative.
Huh.
Nice.
So if over the next week you need a representative, let me know. I mean, say the fuck word.
Say the fuck word. The fuck word.
Anyway, we will continue this next week. So there is your little preview of what you can look forward to. I don't even know what feedback we have here. Oh, okay. Happy birthday to Kate of Shamandaline fame.
Happy birthday.
Happy
you
birthday.
had a birthday earlier this week. So happy birthday. Woo!
Yay.
Yes. Also, happy 10-year anniversary to Alice and Paul.
Oh,
yes,
happy
it's
anniversary.
Harry Potter's birthday and their
Indeed.
anniversary. That was the first thing I thought of when I woke up this morning.
Oh.
Huh.
Swear to God. I actually told my dentist, I was like, today's Harry Potter's birthday. He was like,
Super curious.
I was like, yeah, that's a thing I know. And he was like, my favorite part
Jealous.
of Harry Potter. He was like, can you guess my favorite character? And I was like, you're going to say Snape. And he was like, yes.
Why?
And he was like, because I love the pensive scene in the last book where Harry just finds out everything. It's like,
okay.
Well,
doesn't make Snape any less of a creep, but whatever.
Here we are. Always. Okay. Jessica says Shandy went to Avatar Land because my description of the last episode was you went to Fern Gully because you mentioned that the part of the Appalachian trip.
It is
Smoky
Fern
Mountains
Gully.
you were in with.
Yeah.
And then she said, then she also says, "Go Kamala, go! Woo,
woo, woo!"
I have also just a slight bit of a how do I say this? A counter thing. Whenever what's his face calls her Kamala. Kamala is actually the teenage character in Miss Marvel. So really, he's also talking about a superhero. Kamala from Miss Marvel. Whatever. Okay.
I'm not familiar enough. I believe you.
Just saying. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been just mixing up things that you say in my head because I heard you say Miss Marvel, but I was thinking Mrs. Maisel, and I was searching for it and couldn't find it.
It is a little different, yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but
no worries. Okay, so Jessica also said, I didn't see a thread for the latest broadcast episode, so I'll post it here. Colleen, I want to help put your mind at some ease about the guy in the woods. This was from when I was looking for the geocache in the cemetery, and the guy was like collecting berries awkwardly into a Stanley. It was very weird. You mentioned he looked like he was picking berries, but you didn't see any blueberries. Most likely he was picking wild raspberries. Wild raspberries grow in wooded areas, and you can usually find them along tree lines, so you don't have to go too far into the woods. Their bushes can grow pretty tall. The wooded area you described sounds like a perfect spot for them to grow. Maybe. I have a lot of wild raspberry bushes in my yard. They tend to peak around the 4th of July, so they could probably peak a week or two sooner for you. They're so good with a bowl of vanilla ice cream or plain Cheerios. I can't argue with that. Not sure how common it is to find raspberries in wild raspberries in the RDU area. Maybe he didn't want to say that's what he was doing because he didn't want anyone to know about his secret berry spot. Like you said,
that's legit.
He was on a mission looking for a secret hidden treasure and didn't want to share. You never know. Like I said, we're all weirdos. So
let's hope that's what he was doing.
Yeah,
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Me
Same. Too. Okay. We have an Andy update and that's what she said.
All right. Andy writes, in the past month in Andy's virginity, hey broads, it seems like it's been months since I last wrote, but apparently it hasn't even been one. So much has happened since my last email, including the assassination attempt, and then everything that's happened since.
Yeah.
It'd be like if in between my last email, I'd gone on a bunch of incredible dates and something's going to happen soon. Unfortunately, that isn't what happened. But at least I wanted people to know that I also haven't fucked a couch.
You could take one for the team, Andy, and tell us how it is.
I like this, the new bar. Man, a lot of stuff has happened since Andy last wrote it.
Oh my gosh.
When you put it like that.
It's been nuts.
Andy continues, I've been asking my sibling, who is doing much better in the professional sphere, for help with my situation. That's great. I've gotten some advice and some links to possible jobs out there. I also got slammed with an expensive 2-part dental bill too, so I got to do something. I've been thinking about what to write, but with all the crazy stuff that's happened, it's like too much. But I guess that shows you how much can happen in a quick window and how the direction you think you're going one day can be radically altered the next, and that kind of pivot can be a good thing. Well, the election is still months away, so who knows what'll happen next. # I'm with hers 2.0, Andy. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things can change very quickly. Sometimes all at once.
Sometimes literally all at once.
Yeah. But Andy, I think that's great that you talked to your sibling about getting some tips and help, because that's the way to do it. That's great.
It is really nice. Maybe your sibling, maybe they have some, like connections, or not connections, but you know what I mean? Like maybe they've got, like their own personal LinkedIn or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even just like the resume advice and some like job listings that you may not have thought of. Like, yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Asking people you trust for advice is always a great thing.
Yeah. Good luck, Andy.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, let's finish up with a match what she said.
3 hours and they didn't finish.
He finished it right before 11.
We got to wrap this up. She says she needs to leave by 10:50. Fuck. Whatever. We got to wrap this up. She says she needs to leave by 10:50.
I could feel it going in, and it was starting to throb.
Oh, my.
What the fuck were we talking about?
My teeth.
Yes, that makes sense. It comes for all of us.
So will this come out on her birthday?
You're going to give me how much for that?
Never too late to get it back in, or get it back. I like the way I like my original read. I'm gonna stand by that.
The original one is like the line from American Beauty. It's like the Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
It's also, we're not going back.
We're not going back.
We're not going back.
We're not going back.
But also, it's never too late to get it back in. Yeah.
Yep.
I do like your Freudian slip.
I stand by it.
I've got a new thing that I can now say I did.
Oh, here's the thing to suck up the excess whatever.
This is it. Then I'm done, I swear.
When we first got there, I was like, this is the weirdest shape I've ever seen.
I would have to increase the size of my screen.
Ooh.
I got the goods. Where do you want to meet?
Did they go together? Because they're very female-centric. Which we were talking about, the First Wives Club and
yes.
Mean Girls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which one of these days we're doing the First Wives Club. I keep saying it. We're making it happen at some point. Yeah. It's so good. Also Mean Girls. And also that My Old Ass movie.
Oh, yes. Can't wait till it comes out.
Yeah. We got a list. We're working down it. Anyway, ladies, thank you for playing.
Thanks.
Yeah, good times. Welcome back. We'll be back next week. So happy end of July and start of August. Wow. Woo. August. I don't even remember July. July was so quick because I wasn't home for most of it. Crazy. Anyway, sorry guys. Thank you for playing. Thank you for listening. If anybody has any feedback, thebroadcasters3@gmail.com or give us a call 331-276-2373. If you'd like to play on Patreon, patreon.com/JandJack. Thank you to the patrons that contribute a certain level, and that'd be Eckhart, Rickner, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with the Plan, Ed the Creepy Poopy Head Mailman. Thanks guys so much. Hope for your feedback. Let us know your VP picks. Email us before it's announced on Tuesday. Let us know. This will be fun. All right. On that note, though, everybody, for real, thank you. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.